All right. You asked in one of the last videos if this is a decent screen size, the small iPhone. Because, as you remember from one of the older videos, this is my old phone, the Samsung Galaxy Note 10. I would say the best phone on the planet right now, which I loved. I used to love, with a pen, with the S Pen, you could write on it and all that stuff. And I was always a big fan of like just have one phone as a work tool, and I limit myself back down to smaller devices, but more spread devices, and especially to iOS. And there was a reason, and I wanted to share that with you, because I believe, one, changing from time to time is not a bad thing, and two, we are switching from large screens to multiple screens and easier switching between screens. And this is especially something I've seen during the pandemic, because to change between work locations is a little bit like, have you ever tried to eat a pizza with like 8 pieces but all different flavors? You can eat much more pizza if you eat like different pieces of a pizza. Have you tried that yet? No. You should try that.
Four Seasons pizza.
Like that?
Yeah.
But like you can eat like 20 pieces. Okay, however, that's maybe a stupid comparison, but a bit like that. So switching all day long also relates back to the Action Office idea. The idea from Robert Probst about the Action Office 1, where he found out through research how important it is to switch during the day between standing, sitting, talking, writing, and so on. So translating that into the nowadays hybrid world is more like there is not one large screen I carry, but there is a small screen, of course, I have with me, which I use as a phone most of the time, or as a remote to do stuff. So we have been testing making phone calls from the HomePod Mini. Apple, you had one job, so you can just transfer it on that. I have the Apple Watch to have a phone on the go if there's nothing around. I want a clean desk, because if I do creative work, what I use is a piece of paper and a pen. That should be enough for any creative idea. So a storyline for a keynote, I do like that. A concept for a contract, I do here. A concept for a workshop, I do here. So whatever it is, and that's why my desk is not that big actually. We can fit an iMac on here, and we will test an iMac as soon as it arrives. We ordered one, so get ready. But anyhow, if I'm here at the office, I use this for thinking, being creative, and so on. If I need a computer, I take any computer from the office, because they're of course all connected through the Apple devices. I hope there's not the David Ketter on here right now, because what I didn't tell anyone yet is when I work on these concepts, so that's my spleen. I listen to David Ketter while being creative. Everyone is annoyed about that. I don't know why that is. I have a really broad music taste, reaching from Rammstein, there's a video about that, up to, I don't know, Amy Winehouse, whatever you call it. But when I do keynotes and stuff like that, I listen to David Ketter. So I hope that's all in here. So anyhow, if I need a large screen, I use that one here. Usually it's ready, but this just had an update. So no matter if it's the Mac Pro, if it's a MacBook standing around, or if it's the phone, it's easier to switch between these devices, which I like a lot. Of course, you can do the same with Samsung and the Samsung related devices, but I wanted to go back to iOS, especially of the watch experience, which I think is much better with Apple, and the privacy topic that we talked about in the other video, and the rumors we've seen, like everyone else, about the Apple spectacles that might be a next thing for collaboration. So that's my take on the small screen. So I would always go again with a small phone. I love this form factor. I love the design. The matte, much better than the shiny design from the iPhone Pro. And as I said, I love a clean desk with just a piece of paper and do the creative work there. I don't even know if I like the iMac on that thing. It's small, the new iMac. We test it. We have to test it. We ordered one. We will test it. We need one for the Berlin office anyways. But I kind of like this desk here so clean as it is. I mean, look at that. It's a beautiful desk. It's from our friends from Vitra, by the way. They make really nice stuff. So that's my take on the screens. Multiple screens changing all day long. You don't need the Action Office as Robert Probst designed it back in the days if you are aware of how you change locations and have for yourself different locations, even at home. There is a minimalist guy on YouTube called Matt Dravella. He has his kitchen table for work, where he does his emails and stuff in a very, very minimalist setup, and he has a dedicated desk. Everything in a very minimal setup. So it's super important to have the chance to change between locations. And I'm on the phone doing a walk, changing, thinking work here, doing some communication work here, and then go back and produce a video. So that's why I believe in all these different screens. And when this thing here was my most minimal take, I would say I leave the office and my home far more often without the phone and just the watch, because I know people can call me, I can pay, and it's good. And that's my most minimal setup, which I like a lot. Subscribe, watch another video, and ask some questions. Oh, Discord. I always forget Discord. Don't forget Discord. The boys are on Discord all day long with me, and they push me to use it, and I gotta get used to that. So use Discord. And check out Mittweiler. It's a nice YouTube channel.